Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something pretty exciting in the world of AI alignment.
Yeah, we're looking at a huge new human preference data set. It's called HelpSteer3-Preference, or HS3P for short.
And our mission is to figure out how this data set is basically providing the high-quality fuel for the next generation of LLMs through RLHF. That's reinforcement learning from human feedback, of course.
Exactly. And the thing is, this isn't just a small step. The impact is, well, immediate and pretty staggering.
Staggering how? Give me the numbers.
Okay, so reward models trained on HS3P just shot to the top of the leaderboards. We're talking 82.4% on RM bench and 73.7% on judge bench.
Wow. That's, what, a 10% absolute jump over the previous models?
The 10% jump, I mean, that's like a year's worth of research progress happening overnight.
That's huge, but is that just about making the data set bigger, or is there something else going on with, the quality?
It's really the synergy of both. The scale is definitely a factor. It's over 40,000 samples, so 4 times bigger than its predecessor.
Okay.
But the real key, I think, is the precision. They didn't just scale up. They added really diverse and valuable categories, things like STEM, coding, and even multilingual tasks.
So that implies they had to be really careful about who was doing the annotating, right? This couldn't have been a general crowdsourcing job.
That checks out completely. They used specialist annotator pools. So for the STEM data, the annotators actually needed to have degrees in relevant fields. And for the coding tasks, you had to have actual software engineering experience.
Right, so real domain expertise. And I see that expertise also extended globally, which feels critical.
Oh, absolutely. Almost 20% of the samples are in the multilingual set.
And that's not just 1 or 2 languages.
No, it's 13 different natural languages. And we see a lot of Chinese, about 30%, and then Korean, French, and Spanish are all around 10% each. So it's not just an English-centric model of preference.
Okay, so that global reach is massive. And I think that's where things get really interesting, because the way those different language pools annotated led to some very different model behaviors.
Exactly. It led to 2 main models, an English RM and a multilingual RM. And what's so fascinating is the stylistic bias they uncovered.
A stylistic bias.
Yeah, especially in the English model. It was, let's say, surprisingly sensitive to things like how long the response was, or if it used a lot of markdown formatting.
So style over substance, almost. What was the big aha moment from the testing? How did they prove this vulnerability?
Well, the researchers set up this clever test. They took a concise, correct answer that was chosen by a human and pitted it against a verbose, nicely formatted answer that was rejected.
And what happened?
The English RM's win rate just plummeted, a 24.8% drop. It was essentially fooled by a longer, flashier response over the better, shorter one.
25%. That's a huge vulnerability. It's basically an exploit waiting to happen.
It really is.
So how did the multilingual model handle that exact same test?
This is the profound part. It only saw a 6.4% drop.
Whoa!
Yeah. It suggests that the multilingual annotators were just way less biased by those flashy, stylistic things. They were focused more on the core content, not how it was dressed up.
So different cultural ideas about what a helpful answer actually looks like. One values detail and format, the other values substance and conciseness.
It seems that way, yeah.
So if we pull all this together, the performance jump, this wild stylistic split, what's the big takeaway here for the future of alignment?
I think it shows we've made incredible progress on the data volume problem, but in doing so, we've exposed this really subtle new challenge, which is that if even expert annotators sometimes prefer style over substance, we risk training models that are just really good at, sounding helpful without actually being helpful.
Right, masters of formatted filler. The ultimate goal is helpfulness, after all. So this leaves a really important question for you, the listener, to think about. How do we get alignment methods to better reward that true helpful substance, especially when what's helpful totally depends on the user? A novice might need that long, detailed answer, while an expert just wants the facts. That tension, that negotiation between substance and style, that feels like the new frontier.